Otogirisou, or St. John's Wort, is a Japanese movie from 2001, directed by Ten Shimoyama. Why I saw it is of course because it's based on the game of the same name, released on Super Famicom in 1992, which was one of the first visual novel type games. I could do a plain review of the movie, but that's no fun. It's a pretty middle-of-the-road C-average type horror movie anyway. However, I am interested in comparing it to the game. Have we, with this movie, finally found a movie based on a game that actually does justice to the game? Let's have a look. The story of the game, as far as I understood it, begins with a couple who are traveling along a back road, crash their car after some bad weather, and end up outside a creepy mansion lying behind a field of yellow Otogirisou flowers. They go inside because they have to escape the storm, and inside the house it becomes apparent that someone or something doesn't want them there. In the movie, the protagonist couple are an ex-couple, and the guy is a game designer, taking a small vacation to go with the woman to her old family house, which she has gotten in a will years back, but never visited before. They go there, are greeted by a creepy caretaker, and go into the poorly CG'd house pretty casually. So far, I prefer how the game handles it. It's supposed to be a haunted house type story, basically, and in those types of stories I prefer them to end up at the house instead of going there by their own free will. Also in the game they tell the legend of how the flower got its name, which involved a brother who killed his other brother, and the blood spilled onto the flowers, which is why the flower has spots. It's chilling and relevant to the story unfolding, but they skip that in the movie unfortunately.
日本では音切り草って呼ばれてるけどね。花言葉は復讐。復讐？ただの花言葉だよ。気にすんなよ。
Then in the game, the couple walks around the dark house and discover clues to its history while getting attacked by a mummy, a moving set of armor, and gets scalded in the shower by someone who turns up the heat in the boiler room. Before the assailant is revealed, it seems that the woman, Nami, discovers that she is the long-lost sister to the family that used to live there, of which only the other sister, Naomi, remains. In the movie, we already know that the house is connected to Nami, so what they put on top of it is that her father, the famous painter, was a demented child killer, kidnapping kids and torturing them, painting their agony to complete his masterpiece. Okay. Then they get attacked by the caretaker, whose identity is never revealed by the way, and finally Nami's twin sister Naomi reveals herself, in what is my favorite part of the movie actually. From there, shit goes down. In the game it's revealed that a family used to live in this house, but an accident befell them and the father burned to death. The mother was horribly burnt, hence the mummy. The brother and sister survived, but the brother was already terminally ill, and after he died, the remaining Naomi went insane from the loneliness. If Naomi was really there or not is unclear, at least it was to me. In any case, Naomi is revealed as the big bad, and in a clash, another fire gets loose and the house burns down along with Naomi, with the couple escaping just in time. The game has multiple endings though, depending on the player's choices, so I don't know whether the one I got was one of the better ones. The movie gets weird towards the end. Naomi attacks the guy with a crossbow and goes upstairs to the attic, and Nami feels compelled to follow. She then orders Nami to finish her father's painting, cuts both her own eyes out, and sets fire to the house for some reason. However, Naomi isn't actually Nami's sister, it's her brother. Why? I have no idea. And everyone burns to death in the house. Then the movie cuts to the game developers, and that was just one of the endings that they put into the game. Then they show the other ending, where the guy recovers and saves Nami. Or does he? I guess that's one way to crowbar in alternate endings to a movie. Overall, I think the movie changed too much. Besides, I felt that the tragic backstory of the game, coupled with the legend of the flower, made more of an impact than a crazy serial killer and his crazy kid. The tone worked better in the game too, with the house's empty or is it feeling, and the atmosphere was constantly there. The movie starts out with a found footage style, partly with how the guy films everything, and also from the CCTV type footage that's being watched by Nami. I noticed early on how the movie has very odd coloring. It's all got this yellow-reddish hue, and it looks weird. At first I didn't understand why they did this, but then I realized that they were trying to emulate the PlayStation version of the game. That information doesn't make it look any less distracting, but if it's in order to be like the game, I can appreciate that. Early on they throw in a couple of bits where the movie looks like a game. I guess that's cool, but I don't like it ultimately because it feels very forced. And sometimes the movie freezes into a still image, which I'm not sure why. The dumbest thing about the movie was how the game developers took the guy's footage from his handheld camera and from it made a complete map of the house, later on even in full 3D. I get that they're developers, but how can they see where a secret room is based on one guy's camera flailing? At first I thought that the developers were making the game and the events of the movie were going to serve as their blueprint, based on a true story kind of. But then in the end, with the alternate endings, it leaves me scratching my head, thinking, did this happen? Or was it all dreamed up at a developer's meeting or something? Basically, the movie lacks much impact, and I don't feel much about it one way or the other, although it was a decent movie all told. But I would say the game is better.